Back in town. It is another episode of Realities May Vary, the podcast that goes wherever it wants to go and invites you to come along with it. He's Cody Gough. I'm Brian Noonan. You have just been tampering for the last few minutes. You've been tampering with your lighting, trying to get it just perfect. You're like one of the Kardashians with your camera readiness.
It's pretty awful right now. Just all of it. I just don't.
No, I think you look well. Now it went too dark. Now you look.
It's a nightmare.
You look fine. This is, for the most part, this is an audio medium, so we don't really, the people who watch it as we record it live on Facebook may see your face, but
that's true.
They love you anyway.
They
don't care. Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. So there, you told me mere seconds ago, there's a lot to get to.
Yeah. Well, I got it. First, a correction. I didn't think I'd have to issue a correction this early in the show. You've only said 2 sentences, and I've already got a correction.
What did I do?
You said that the conversation goes wherever we want it to, but you failed to, you omitted the fact that sometimes we take it to where we don't want it to go to.
That's true. The conversation can go wherever.
Right. Such as parking tickets.
Yes. Are you back in trouble with the law? Did Johnny Law come get you?
No, Johnny Law caught up to me.
What happened?
Remember, if you're just rejoining us for the 7th week in a row, many years ago, or a month, I got a parking ticket in Chicago that was a load of crap. It's a lie and a scam because the city of Chicago is corrupt and horrific, and streets and sanitation I have no respect for. So anyway, I kept checking the website to try and pay this electronic parking ticket for weeks. And then I just gave up. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I guess I'm not going to pay it. Well, I mentioned it to my sister when I saw her a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it takes the city forever to post it. So I sat down. I stood up, got ready for this podcast, walked up, got my water, messed with my camera, popped up the City of Chicago website just before I logged on. And guess what's on the website now?
Your ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. You knew you weren't going to get away with this.
I thought I was going to get away with it because the city of Chicago is totally incompetent. All right, so do I pay it or not? I filled out the info. Do I just pay it?
Yeah, you got to pay it. Or you can never go into the city without worrying about getting booted.
I hate this stupid city and country.
Well, when we first moved closer to the city a few years ago, I didn't realize there were these goofy speed limits through the park, even though you're going down a major, Ogden is a major 4-lane road. And you get near a park that has nobody in it. And boy, oh boy, I think I ended up getting about $1,100 worth of tickets.
Oh my God. Well, the saga ends here. I just paid the ticket live on the podcast. City of Chicago. If you try and come after me for more money, I will move to Canada.
So what would the total end up being? Because there was the towing fee and the storage fee. And now the ticket.
Well,
it was about $400.
I picked it. Yeah, it's $400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty reasonable for parking in a place that's not clearly marked.
No, that's why I only use Spot Hero now when I go downtown. I always have a legit, legal, registered spot, because even if I do find a spot on the street, I'm terrified that I'm going to end up like you.
You have been a proponent of Spot Hero for years.
I am. I'm all about the Spot Hero. Went to a play last week. Spot Hero'd it. Get a nice spot for, in a garage close to the venue. All about the Spot Hero. When we used to work at the for that, I think it's a radio station. It might be a radio station that we worked at in common. I used Spot Hero when that station moved to a new building because we didn't have free parking anymore. So yeah, I'm a Spot Hero guy. I'm all about it.
Is that why you got Spot Hero? Because I remember it. Because when we were in Tribune Tower, we actually, as employees, were sometimes availed free parking, depending on the time of day and who we were filling.
At night, it was always free.
Overnight, always free, right? But if you're filling in during the day, sometimes it was a little touch and go. But for the most part, I mean, we miraculously, as employees, had pretty much free parking.
Yeah, it was great,
which is amazing, right? And I remember there was much to do about the new building on Wacker because there was no free parking and the nearest parking was like $30. Like you would basically come to do a shift and you would spend the entire paycheck you got on parking. Not you specifically, but anyone.
No, most people.
Producers, certainly. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to, I would have been paying money to go down there, which is why I always took public transit to get to the station. So was that what motivated the Spot Hero move, or had you already been using it?
I think I started using it when we started going to all the plays, when Broadway in Chicago, when we got on the list, which was nice. And I forget there was another reason, but I think it was that I was going downtown a lot more. And it was just, back in the day, I'm old enough to remember when you could pretty much find street parking anywhere you went in the city, because it was 3 cars and horse and buggies. So it's been before the fire, we used to be able to park wherever we wanted. Then, they started cranking up the prices and making all these no parking zones and all different things. Because I remember going down when I was a kid. My dad was the worst. My dad believed, and I inherited this belief, that parking should be free. And he was never going to park in a garage. Never. He would circle a place for 40 minutes, tried to get and you just hearing that story, I could tell you're going, wow, you are exactly like your father. Because when we would go down back when like Debbie and I were first dating and stuff, and we'd go downtown to go to Duays or something for pizza, I would drop her off because I knew she could go in and order, and we had about 40 minutes before the pizza was ready, and I would drive around till I found a spot on the street. Then I finally got to the point where I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do this anymore. And Duays started giving discount parking. You get a couple bucks off. So I then just started parking in the garage across the street, and I realized there was no more free lunch, no more free parking. When you lived downtown and I would come to your place, it was always like, I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to find a spot. And I would drive around to find a spot. But now, I Spot Hero, and it's so there's no worries. And for a long time at the old place, the garage in the building wasn't on Spot Hero. So I'd be parking like I'd park, at Prudential Plaza. I'd park miles away because it was like, I could park for $10. But then all of a sudden, the building garage started going on Spot Hero for like $12. And I was like, this is perfect. So that's it. Yeah, Marta, I would drive. Yes, but this was back in the day when gas was under $1 a gallon. So I was just pouring gas out on the street. I didn't care. When we moved to California and gas was 99 cents, I was like, woohoo. It was like happy days. I was just cruising up and down the streets. It was great.
Wow. Marta's right, though. If you did it today, you would about 2 times around the block, you'd be spending more money than parking, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't do it anymore. My time's probably worth something, and gas and just frustration. So, download the app. Boom, boom, boom. Daddy's got a place to park. If I was ever going to the doctor downtown, forget it. I'm not messing around with that. I'm not going to park on the street like a lunatic and pay $400 like some sap.
Yeah, like a psycho. That was a failure of mine. All right, well, so we've got a lot to get to, but that was the first thing. I think we've resolved parking issues. No more parking ticket news from me. What's on your docket?
I've got a lot on the plate, but I've been thinking. Well, all right, I'll tell this quick story, and then I'm dying to know if you went on the Breaking Bad tour, because I've been watching Better Call Saul. So,
oh God.
So today we're at school. It's 2:50, literally time to start packing up to go home, and the fire alarm goes off.
Ooh.
Now I'm sitting there, and we hear the fire alarm maybe twice a year, and it's predetermined fire drills. So if it goes off at a regular time, there's a good chance something's up. Now, at the time, the class I was in this structured class made up of 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. There were only 3 kids in the classroom and 2 adults. The alarm goes off, and the other teacher is like, okay, let's go, line up. I felt like George Costanza, because my first thought was not, oh my God, I must save these children. My first thought was, let me grab my coat. So I reach into the closet and grab my coat, And I'm going to the door, and I say to the other teacher, "Hey, are you grabbing the folder?" Because every classroom has a red folder that has the evacuation routes, a class list, a big green or red card that we hold up to let everybody know that we have all our kids and whatever. She goes, "No, I forgot about it." So I grabbed the thing. Now, I didn't waste any time, but I realized once we got outside, I was the only person who had their coat. Everybody else had just fled the building. And again, nobody was waiting for me like, "Mr. Noonan, come on, we got to get out. It's a burning building. Hold on, I got to get my coat." It was arm's length from where I was sitting when the alarm went off. So I basically stood up, turned around, and grabbed my coat. I didn't run down the hall. I didn't have to open a locker combination. But we got outside, and everybody's looking at me like, "Oh, you got your coat on." And part of me was like, I got to have my coat because my car keys are in there. And if the building burns down, I want to go home. So I got to have my keys. Now, in my defense, the other teacher ran to the back of the room to get her phone. So who's worse? Am I the most horrible human being in the world? I did get the children out safely. Turns out some punk kid had pulled the alarm. Yep. So how awful a human am I? You're shaking your head.
No, not at all. I was shaking my head at the alarm puller. What was the temperature outside? What day was it again?
40, 45, a little chilly.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm feeling a little under the weather. That's why I have a little whiskey here, hoping that it'll help get rid of whatever's happening.
Oh man, I hope it's not what I had.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll get to that. A lot to get to.
Wow.
Talked about it. So what day?
Right.
You said the day that it was. Did you say that it was today or yesterday?
What?
The thing
today.
That
today. This happened at 10 to 3 today.
Very
this
cold.
Afternoon.
Dude, it's freezing outside.
I know.
I know, dude. You should have gotten your coat. I would have.
Yeah, I'm not going to let the kids go to their lockers and mess around because they would have been doing all kind of stuff. But mine was right within arm's reach.
Based on my son's activity, I'm not sure at what point kids are aware of cold.
That's true.
He's 1.5, and like one time it was snowing outside, quite cold. Actually, it did finish snowing, so it was colder. And I opened the front door to get some mail, and he runs up to the door and he's pushing on the door. I'm like, "You don't want to go outside, bud." And he just walked outside bare feet. He was wearing like a t-shirt, and maybe he had a long sleeve shirt on and jeans, and just bare feet, just walked down the couple steps, walked on the sidewalk, took a few steps, kind of looked around, and then turned around and walked back inside. Didn't cry.
Hold on 1 second. Yes. Oh, it's DCFS.
It's DCFS,
Cody.
DCFS.
Yeah, they'd like to talk to you. DCFS.
I'm curious. He's a curious kid. I'm like, all
yes,
right,
he
dude.
is.
I told you not to go out. It's cold. You go out if you want. He didn't get a cold. He's fine.
How'd the frostbite on his feet work out?
It was not below freezing. Well, it would have been because there's snow. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I didn't have any like coat on. I just walked out with him. I was like, okay, sure. I guess we're doing this.
Okay. Yeah, but that you knew you weren't going to be standing outside for a while.
No. Right. Yeah.
You also knew you weren't in danger of being stranded because your car keys were, melting in a classroom somewhere.
Right.
So I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to stand by my move. Because if I'm warm and safe, I can keep the kids warm and safe.
Right.
Theoretically.
It's like on the plane, when the gas mask comes down, not the oxygen mask, the gas mask. Yeah. You put the gas mask on yourself first and then assist the other people in putting on the gas mask. Because
then you'll be falling asleep and you won't hear their screams of terror as the plane goes down. You may be onto something.
Heard the spiel many times because I had a connecting flight to Albuquerque.
All right. First of all, you were flying. Last time we talked, they hadn't gotten rid of these mask mandates. So you were flying in the midst of all this craziness. In the airports, did you have to wear a mask? On the plane, did you have what was your mask situation?
No, nowhere.
Nowhere. You just went crazy. You were freeballing it.
I get to O'Hare and we get out and we're walking around. I got the mask on. It's like, all right, get ready for 6 hours of mask.
Oh, tyranny.
Yeah. No, it's whatever, mildly uncomfortable, but it is annoying, right? I'm just
Sure,
gonna put
yes.
it out
Yeah,
there.
it's annoying. Yeah.
As a science communicator, former science communicator who believes in science, understands the good of masks, they're annoying. So I wasn't looking forward to that. Uh, and I don't know what happened. So last time I got early in the pandemic, I just at CVS, you just buy the box of 100 masks,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm not gonna wash masks. Like, what am I gonna do after the pandemic? Just have a drawer of masks?
Yeah, then you're me with a bunch of cloth masks that were cute.
No, I hate that. So I just bought the cheap crack. It's whatever. Like, use them a couple times, throw them out. Well, I don't know what they did, if they changed the brand or what, but these masks, this new box of masks I got at CVS, it's like you're basically putting a sweater over you. Like you're smothering yourself.
Oh God.
It They're really thick and really just awful. So I put on this awful mask and I'm like, all right, let's go. And I'm walking around O'Hare and I'm like, half 60% of the people here don't have masks on, including employees. I was like, what the hell is
Hmm.
going on? So I just was like, I guess we'll take our masks off. So just take the mask off, tempting the law. No one said anything. The TSA people didn't have masks. I'm like, okay. So get through security. And then when we went to board the plane, I had my mask on and we're walking on and there's like 4 people on the plane with a mask. So I'm like, I guess this isn't happening. And the flight
Right.
attendants didn't have them. So I'm like, I guess the pandemic's over. So none of
Pandemic's over, Cody. It's all good. Everything's fine.
look, I don't care. It's just so confusing. And I'm just,
It is.
it's so confusing. I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell
and
is
I
up or
don't know.
down.
I don't know how much they're. I listened to another doctor the other day, the head of like the infectious disease. He was a big government doctor, not Fauci, but another one on that level. And he was like, listen, if we had done the right thing from the beginning and told people the correct kind of mask, that was fine. But we had people wearing cloth, we had people wearing this, and really the only thing that helps is the N95s. So you know, now it might mitigate it a little, but it's not really doing that much. And I'm like, okay, well,
Well, I don't want to belabor the mask thing because we get
no.
into that a
Yeah,
lot
we
on the
don't need to get into that because I'm still wearing mine at school just because, as I've mentioned 1,000 times, kids are disgusting.
Well, this gets into my next story. So, I mean, I'll talk about the trip in a minute, but everybody got
Yes.
sick. Everybody got
Really?
sick. Yeah, everybody got real sick.
Oh,
I don't think it was COVID, but there was definitely a stomach flu involved. There's definitely my son turned into a little vomitorium for a while. The day after
was
that,
this when you got there or before you got there or
we flew Wednesday. I think he got real sick. I think it was Friday, and then my spouse had the same thing happen to her Saturday.
was
And
it the
then
green chilies?
yeah, we didn't have a single. I did not. I may as well have been anywhere. I underutilized Albuquerque to a degree that you're going to just endlessly chastise me for. You wouldn't even know I was there. You wouldn't even know I was in the Southwest. I'll get to that. So,
All right. Wow. This is gonna be some treat.
well, we get to this Airbnb and it's my wife and her siblings and their spouses and our nieces and her parents. And so there's like, I don't know, a
Wow.
dozen of us or something in this Airbnb. And it's nice. It's got a swimming pool in the back and a hot tub,
Cool.
and a big outside grilling area. And then there were no back neighbors. It was kind of at the top of a hill. So in
Cool.
the backyard view was cool. It's kind of like a hilly desert, some houses, and it's kind of neat.
Sounds good.
Yeah. This fun. We hung out. We grilled a lot. We got a lot of food. At no point did I get in the swimming pool or the hot tub or played pool on the pool table that they had.
Were you just sleeping?
I didn't do the
'Cause you
Breaking
were
Bad
sick?
tour. I did one 40-minute hike the last day right before we went to the airport.
Wow.
So I suck.
Wow, you didn't go up the mountain? You didn't take the tram?
Did literally nothing. I think I left the house 3 times to go to a grocery store. And no, it sucked. I sucked. I mean, the trip was good. It was good seeing people. Here's the deal. The first day, the pool was really cold.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like getting in. And I was also kind of anxious because, like, there are 3 toddlers running around. with a giant open swimming pool.
Oh, yikes.
So often they were like with a parent holding them in the pool, but like I just wanted to be like the land guy and
Okay.
just kind of like police things and just be
That would be very stressful. I would not enjoy that.
yeah, I was also worried that like if I like it's impossible to focus for 30 seconds when you've got kids running around.
Right.
So I was really worried. The main thing was water's too cold, seems uncomfortable. Second thing is I feel like I'm going to misapply the suntan lotion, not get myself good enough, get burned on the first day, and then be miserable the next 4 days. So I was like,
Little did you know you were going to get the stomach flu and be miserable anyway.
I know, right? So I'm like, I can wait to get in the pool. I'll do it tomorrow or the next day. We've got 4 days. What the heck? Or I'll get in the hot tub tonight. No problem when the kids are asleep. Okay. So day 1 goes by. I just never get in the pool. It's fine. I just drank a lot. Then day 2 was kind of similar. It just wasn't like nobody really got in the pool. It was kind of a non-pool day. We're like, all right, we're just kind of hang out. Day 3 was a wind warning. Oh, a like massive, hold on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, it must have been the second day. The second day there was this massive wind advisory warning for like 36 hours.
Oh my God.
And it was gusts up to 75 miles an hour. And we covered the pool with their pool cover, and then we retracted it because we thought it was going to rip the pool cover off. Because
oh
it was
my God.
so windy. You couldn't go outside. The dust was insane. I tried to grill and you'd open the cover and it would just slam shut immediately. I mean,
Whoa.
There were giant tumbleweeds flying into the backyard. I swear to God, they're like 12 giant, like bush-sized tumbleweeds that flew into the backyard. And so that was the second. So I think the third day it died down. I'm going to lose track of the days. But anyway,
that's a lot of days with a lot of trauma.
A lot of days. The last full day, we uncovered the pool. And the problem is that while the pool was uncovered, so much sand and crap had flown into it that it was disgusting. And no one got in the pool that day because they're like, the pool is now disgusting. I'm sure we'll probably owe the Airbnb host like a $600 fee. But so that was that. And then that night, everyone was so tired, I didn't even get in the hot tub. And it got really cold. Because the thing about Albuquerque is like, it's the desert, but it's freezing and it's really hot at the same time.
Yeah, because it's pretty high up, the elevation.
Yeah. So we're like, the last night, we're like, well, I kind of want to get in the hot tub, but it's like 50 degrees outside. And I frankly don't feel like running out in, my swimming suit to get in the hot tub and then running out again. So it was... It was, I don't know. No one planned ahead because
no, doesn't sound like it.
No one had planned ahead for like going places. So I looked up a hiking spot, but like 3 toddlers napping is kind of hard to coordinate.
Yeah.
Especially when like in the middle of the night, one wakes up is crying and then the other wakes up crying. And then the parents are awake and then the parents don't sleep. And then like the third or, second or third night or whatever, 2 of the parents are up throwing up all night because of the stomach flu. God. So like, it was just hard to like plan. And
this sounds horrific.
It was great. It was actually really fun. We were mostly good. We grilled every day. We got to hang out. People were a little sleep deprived, but it just made it hard to like do stuff.
Yeah.
So that was my weird trip. But so here's the stomach flu thing. Yeah. I started feeling it on the flight on the way back.
Oh.
So I put a mask on and I sat there just focusing as hard as I could on not exploding from both ends simultaneously.
On a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
On a plane while my son wouldn't sleep and it was past his bedtime. So he's wriggling and he's a lap baby. So my wife had to handle him because if he touched my intestines, I felt like I was going to burst. So I couldn't hold him. It's pretty rough.
And let's be honest, you and I are too tall for those airplane bathrooms.
Yeah.
Those airplane bathrooms are not made for people over 5'7".
Yeah.
If you are one of the Lollipop Guild, you can use those bathrooms comfortably.
Yeah.
If you are an average or above average size human being, forget about it.
Yeah.
And especially if you are in that kind of intestinal distress. Yeah. It is not going to be fun. Oh,
So to answer your Breaking Bad question, final point in this story. And again, I'll say the company was good. It was fun. It was good seeing everybody.
sure. The people were nice, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I might as well have been in Schaumburg versus Albuquerque. Like, for the most part, there's a cool view. There's some hail, tumbleweeds. I kind of like that I saw a dust storm, but we did not take advantage of that region of the U.S., I don't think. So the Breaking Bad tour. All right. So
Yes.
I just didn't feel like doing the full tour because my wife hasn't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I could have done it with my mother-in-law, but she was with her kid. I figured she'd want to spend time with her grandkids,
Sure.
and plus it was like $100. And I'm just like, I don't need that. But the second or third day, my father-in-law texted me and said, Los Pollos Hermanos is like 2 miles from us.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, great. So Los Pollos Hermanos is the fast food chain that one of the villains runs in season 2 or 3. Pretty iconic. And we didn't have time to do it to the last day. So we're on the way to the airport, and we were going to get to the airport way early because we shared with one of our siblings. And so we were going to get there like 3 hours early. And I look, and on the map, Los Pollos Hermanos is literally like 8 minutes due west. And the airport is another 5 minutes due west. So I'm like, just punch it in the GPS. Let's just pull over. I'll hop out. It'll take an extra 15 seconds. No problem. So we get there. Hold on.
Now, is it a functioning restaurant?
I'll show you what it is.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you what it is. I got my selfie. Here is where the GPS took us.
What is that?
It is a completely boarded up former restaurant with a chain link fence surrounding the parking lot. And out of the frame, you can see a sign that says for lease. There's no signage. There's no paint. There's no indication of what the building was at any point in time. It is just this. So I take it, and it's just a parking lot with weeds in it. I take it, and then I send it to my friends. And then I just had this weird suspicion. So I Googled it later. And I'm like, where is Los Pollos Hermanos? Apparently, it's actually a functional fast food place called, I don't remember the name, but it's a nearby fast food place that I believe we drove by several times. That is the actual location. So when you put into Google Maps, Los Pollos Hermanos, it takes you to that place that I went to.
Okay.
But I don't have evidence that is in any way connected to Breaking Bad. And we went through extremely violent, very troublesome neighborhoods where there were many, many tents pitched by many, many people without homes, and some were running across the street screaming at each other, chasing each other on our way. It was like a scene out of like Day of the Dead. So I was like, this isn't safe at all. And I wonder if someone put that on Google Maps to like mug people. Because I hopped out and we're looking across the street and I'm like, that guy's got a gun. That guy's probably got a knife. We should probably leave pretty fast. So that was my Breaking Bad adventure. I almost got broke bad.
Yeah. That's you would have had to call Saul. That was pretty good.
It was.
Can people do that? Can you put fake things in Google Maps?
I have no idea.
It's a good theory though. I like the theory. Man, well, I'm sorry other than the company that the rest of the trip was troublesome. Did you make it out of the airport when you got home, or did you immediately get off the plane and dash to the restroom?
I actually felt okay when we landed, which is annoying. But then we got a cab home. Big mistake for several reasons. The cab says the fare was like $56 to Lombard. Great. 64. It was like $62 for Uber. We're like, fine. We won't have to wait for a cab. Well, not only did we have to wait for a cab, but he said that he had to double the pull fee or something like that. It ended up being $100.
What does that mean, double the pull fee?
So he was using the meter, and then he would adjust the pull fee so that it was half of whatever the meter said. So the meter ended up saying like $50 or $56, $58. Okay. And then he just kept hitting the meter pull thing. so that it was another 29 or whatever. Is that right?
Why?
I don't know. He just told us that's the way it was after we got all our luggage loaded. And he's like, yo, I've got to do it this way. This is how we do it. I'm like,
No.
we were too tired to argue. It seemed like a
Oh,
scam. I didn't
yeah,
tip him
that's a
well.
scam.
I didn't tip him well, but he got my credit card because I left my credit card in the credit card machine. So I have to cancel my credit card now.
Oh,
So
God.
that was a lesson to never use a cab ever again.
Wow. See, that's why I like in New Orleans, it's right on the window what it costs to get from the airport down to the city and then how much extra per person. So the minute you get in that cab, and that's the only time I really take a cab is from the airport to somewhere if I'm not renting a car. And you know exactly what it is. I think it's like $36 or something. And you don't have to, there's none of the double pull, jack in the meter. What? That sounds wrong.
I don't know. My wife had more fight in her than I did because whenever a cabbie tries to scam us, she flips out because she's used to it from different countries she's lived in, and she does not have patience for it. So she was like pretty much biting his head off, but we had strapped in the kid's car seat. We had like 5 bags in the back. I mean, it was an official cab. I mean, it was part of the cab company. He had all his info. I mean, yeah, I'll cancel my card now. I've had to cancel cards before, and usually I just tell the bank, I'm like, here's the last like 3 charges. They're all like bad. Please refund. They always refund me. So I'm not worried about like the bill or anything. Like if he goes and buys a TV, I'll just tell the bank like, yeah, that got ripped off.
Yeah, and then he can go to jail. That'd be nice.
It's whatever.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, it blows.
This is why, this is why the cabbies and the taxi industry have such a horrible reputation. It's like, at least with Uber, and Uber is vile as well, but at least with Uber, the evil before you decide to take that ride. This guy was, how could that's false? I'm mad for you.
Yeah.
You're just too nice. That's the problem. Nice suburban dad taking his kid on a trip, gets in a cab to go home.
Well, I'm
almost
too nice
pooped himself on the plane.
And more. I was too tired. You know what I mean? It's like, we got to the airport. We got to the Albuquerque airport at it was like a 10-hour travel day, right? With a 1-year-old.
Where did you have the layover, going or coming home?
Both. Denver.
Oh.
Yeah. But on the bright side, in addition to, it being good seeing my family, her family and now our family and just getting to spend time with them, you got to enjoy a little bit of the fun that I was having.
Yeah, I saw you texted me. You were drinking one night. Was that Saturday night? You were saying how hammered you were. It's Friday or Saturday because I texted you about something, and you were all. You looked like you were getting all liquored up.
It
looked like a yellowish sort of cocktail. It looked fun.
What was that?
I don't know. It might be a margarita. It almost looks like there's a green stem.
It was a margarita. Yeah.
I'm drunk. I am very, in capital, drunk. In-laws visit. And then some wrestler.
I sent a picture of Otis, the pro wrestler, for no reason.
Right. And then there's a picture, I'm visiting in-laws, and then a picture of a cocktail.
Yeah, I was toasted because what you do when you sit around not leaving the house and not able to really like do certain activities, you just drink. I drank a lot. I drank pretty much.
Wait, you were the one who were saying you were so nervous about the toddlers wandering around the pool, but yet you're saying you were drunk
later in the day.
Okay, you would drink after the children went to bed.
Yeah,
you're not Tommy Lee hosting a pool party.
No, not this time. And actually, just looking at my phone, I have one more stupid, insane story from the first day.
All right, good.
JP asked, didn't I have car issues in New Orleans? That was Brian, right?
Did I?
When you came back from New Orleans, maybe?
No, the travel was fine. We took an Uber. We took a taxi from the airport. It was fine. Took a taxi back to the airport. It was fine. Because again, we knew how much I did. We paid a lot to take an Uber to breakfast to buy Molly a $1 sticker. That was the only craziness with the car.
No, previously, wasn't there a previous trip where you drove and there was a rental involved, and then like the rental, you got stuck
I
somewhere
got a
because
flat tire with a rental, and yeah, at 4, yeah. That was I think the first time we went down there.
yeah. Oh wait,
Oh,
no,
there's
when
Craig. Hey, Craig.
Brian was stuck in a hotel during one trip, his memory is way good.
Well,
Uh,
that was last year. That was during the pandemic when we got caught in the ice storm, and we did the I did the podcast from somewhere in was it Memphis?
no,
Yeah.
JP is right. JP is right. I left something in the cab. I left the diaper bag in the cab
Right.
that we took from the airport to the Airbnb where my brother was
Yes.
having his wedding.
Correct. And the guy was you got it back. You really shouldn't go out.
I should never leave my house. The one
Yeah,
other
that's nice.
stupid, hilarious thing is in the air on the way to Albuquerque. Apparently, I got an email from my agent.
What? Wait, hold on. You still have an agent?
I still have an agent, even though I haven't booked anything in like 7 years minimum. And I haven't gotten a call back in at least that long. But my agent, for some reason, and the last time I got any audition opportunity was November. I think that was the only time last year. Well, suddenly last week I did a self-tape here in my studio, and then
Really?
the day I got to Albuquerque, I had all these instructions, and I had to do this audition by 8 a.m. the next day to be Peyton Manning's body double.
Oh my God. Now, one, do you know who Peyton Manning is?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. It's Eli's sister, isn't it?
Yes, Eli's sister, Peyton. Yep, that's exactly right.
Played for the Louisiana Colts.
Yep, exactly. Louisiana Colts.
17 seasons.
His father was Archie Bunker
Okay.
from All in the Family.
Is that a restaurant?
No, that was a TV program
Oh, interesting.
back in the 70s. Yes,
Oh, interesting. I actually did know the All in the Family reference.
I'm sure you did.
No, I Googled Peyton Manning, and then I was like, I kind of do very vaguely resemble him.
All right. So what did you have to do? Put on a jersey?
I needed someone to take full body pictures of me, which I
Naked?
had my wife do before she went to sleep. But then I realized that I needed a full body video of me.
Hey now.
So I had to ask my brother-in-law to take a video of me saying, "Hi, I'm Peyton Manning," and then turn around twice, which was one of the more awkward things I've ever had to do. And I'm
Oh
not
my
sure
God.
he'll ever speak to me again. The cabbie did return it to me, Marta. Yes, I did get in New Orleans, I got that stuff back from the cabbie. I could call a couple cab companies in Chicago and ask, did you get a credit card? And maybe it's there. Or I'll just cancel it and not care. I don't know. I'll look at my bill. Let's see what's up. I'm not good luck with dumb crap lately. Just stupid.
Your mind is
unnecessary-
elsewhere. You're not paying attention to the details.
Dude,
You're
I don't
the
know.
big picture. You've got too much happening. Gidget, what's the matter?
I don't know what the deal is, but so is my adventure. Thanks for the recommendations on the green chilies and mountains. I took none of them.
I see that.
Entirely worthless. I'm totally.
Wow. You could have just gone to Oak Brook and stayed at a Red Roof Inn.
Mhm.
That would have been as exciting.
That's true.
But this was nice. So what was this Airbnb had to be huge though.
It's pretty big. I mean, it had like 6 bedrooms or hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 6
man.
bedrooms. 7.
Nice.
But yeah, not bad.
Very good. I have I'm gonna have to get up for a second because Gidget is not feeling well. I don't know if you can hear her.
I hear that. Yeah.
Something's going on. I hate when the dogs get sick because they can't tell you what's going on, and she's having a bad couple days. So, well, yesterday it started, but yeah. So I think I'm going to let her out of the office here, but she's not eating. So tomorrow I think we got to make a vet appointment. But she's old and she's cranky. Now she's screaming. So hang on 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I don't know if this is relatable for anybody, but I think it's like 6th season because I basically everybody on this trip ended up getting the stomach flu. Some yesterday, some today. So that sucks. But then I've got a buddy who works at a plant in Rockford, and he said that his boss and like 3 other people are out with a stomach flu. I got a buddy at a factory in Wisconsin, just outside of like Fontana area. And he said that a quarter of their employees are all out with some kind of like stomach bug or something. I work for a fully remote company, and I had an employee in Atlanta that had to take a sick day yesterday, and an employee in Los Angeles area who had to take off today. So I just feel like people are getting sick left and right everywhere. I don't know if it's like a national bug or if it's like just a stomach flu national bug or what the deal is, but yeah,
There's
man,
a lot of
everybody's
that going around school. A lot of stomach
everybody.
flus. Did you see the story on the hepatitis?
No,
Like
what?
20 kids in the Chicago area got some mysterious form of hepatitis. That was on the news last night. There's people sick, stomach flu going around. I got up today. Well, yesterday I didn't go to school because I was sick. We had gone out to dinner Sunday night for our anniversary, which was Monday.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 30 years. 30. That's insane. Well, both Debbie and I were saying it. This is crazy. It's more than half our lives. And the old joke is if I had killed her on our wedding day, I'd have been out by now. But no, it's I can't, that amount of time just seems insane for her to have put up with me. That's the insane part.
Congratulations. So you've been with her longer than you haven't.
Yes.
Wow.
Because we were together a couple years before we got married.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I never looked at it that way. Yikes.
I just thought of that because I'm going to be 5 years this year, which is nothing. But like I have a hard time even remembering life without my wife.
Yeah. I remember stuff, but I don't at least look at it like, oh my God, it's like, I don't count it up as it's going. It just I remember our 10-year anniversary. We renewed our vows in Vegas. 20, probably didn't do much. 25, we went to the DR. Then this year we're going to Ireland in September. But yeah, so it's amazing. But we went out because we had made the pledge. We weren't going to buy anything for each other because we're all the money's going for the trip. And she already told me when we went on our honeymoon, I bought her an opal ring in Jamaica. And we found the place in Galway that is the original creator of the Claddagh rings. And they will, on the inside, if you buy it at this place, it's inscribed that it's an original Claddagh ring. So she's like, well, I want to get a new. So I'm getting her a Claddagh ring in Galway as our anniversary gift. But then, of course, Molly sneaks in. Hey, I could use a new Claddagh ring too. La, la, la. So we were going to bring Molly something back anyway. So now she'll get a Claddagh ring. But so Debbie, I was like, well, let's at least go out to dinner, somewhere for our anniversary. And we could go Sunday or we could go Monday. And since we're both, working and it's just a hassle, we go out Sunday for dinner. We went to a Mexican place that we love. But Sunday night, my stomach was killing me. I couldn't sleep. I was cramping up. I was like, oh my goodness. So I took yesterday off. Turns out yesterday there were like 5 teachers sick too. So everybody was sick. To your point, there's just sickness everywhere. And then I get up today and, normally in the morning I get some sinus stuff, whatever. I'm drippy. But today I just felt like my throat, everything. I'm like, oh my God, I'm taking a COVID test. Because Debbie gets 2 boxes of we've got so many COVID tests in the closet. I'm like, I might as well use them before they expire. So I took a COVID test this morning. It was negative. I'm going to take another one tomorrow just for grins.
Dude, send me one. I want one of those.
You want some COVID tests? I'll give you a box. I'll give you a box. A couple COVID tests.
Take one in my. I caught hell for that. You don't have COVID.
For wanting to take a COVID test?
Yeah, it's like it's not COVID. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't be COVID. Well, I don't know. I just traveled a bunch and felt bad. Maybe it's COVID.
I think part of our deal might have been we got our second boosters on Sunday too, because we're elderly.
Wait, am I supposed to get a second booster?
Well, you have an underlying condition. Yeah, you should go get your second booster.
All right.
Yeah, man. So I don't know if that had something to do with it because my arm was sore and that. So who knows? Who knows? Nothing more boring than listening to old people complain about their illnesses. Nothing. But everybody is sick. So I don't know. Debbie stayed home today. She was sick.
Ugh.
So I know. I'm hoping we all get better by Saturday. It's not a big shindig. We're all very excited. So just real quick, we'll recap this. We'll recap this next week because not only are Cody and I going to be at this event, Craig is going to be at this event too. So the three of us and our brides will all be at this black tie gala where I will be emceeing the Irish American Hall of Fame induction that has been on hold for 2 years. So I will be, and we had some extra tickets. People bought tables and then they were like, well, we can't use these tables. So last week at the board meeting, they're like, do you know anybody who might want to come? And I said, I have a couple people that might want to come to this event. So I asked you and I asked Craig, and both of you guys and your brides are able to come. So it'll be fun. We're all going to be dressed up. I cannot wait. Are you actually going to do what you texted me? I don't want to blow it if you're not.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Full,
we'll recap it.
Full formal kilt.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I thought we were going to be Blue Tux Brothers because I had to rent a tux because COVID wreaked havoc on my body. And so my tux didn't fit. And I tried to buy one. I actually tried to buy a couple from the place I always get them. And on the website, this is what I hate about online shopping. On the website, everything was peachy keen. Oh, here's the size. Here's the thing. I send it in, give them my credit card. Your order has been confirmed. Fantastic. 2 days later, the items you ordered are unavailable. We have this or this. I'm like, well, send that. Well, that one didn't work. So I look again and okay, let me order this one. Again, from the website. Shows it's available. Your order is confirmed. No, that's not available either. I'm like, all right, well, just cancel it. And at this point, I was like, I'm just going to rent one because by next year, I'll be back in my my regular tuxedo. So I'm going to rent a tux and I try it on. It looks good. It's black, just whatever. And the guy goes, oh, I'm sorry. The pants aren't available in any size. Well, that's not going to help me. And as I'm standing there, there's a navy blue tuxedo on display. Now, you're the only guy I know who has a navy blue tuxedo. You wore it for your wedding and you looked quite dapper. And I'm gazing at this navy blue tuxedo and I'm like, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I switch it up this year. Maybe I go navy blue. So I said, all right, none of it's available in the black. How about navy blue? Hold on, let me see. Why, yes, everything's available in navy blue. I said, lock it up. Let's do it. And then the guys give me a hard time about the pants. Because even when I lost all the weight, I wear dress pants at a different height than I wear jeans. I like to wear my jeans low slung, like right. I'm hipping and hopping, like I'm slinging the rock, like I'm doing time. And I wear my dress pants a little higher up, suits, things like that. And he's like, no, I think you got to go, you got to go under the belly where you wear your jeans. I'm like, no, I don't. That's not where I like to wear my suits. Well, I can't recommend it. I go, what would it cost me to rent both pairs of pants? I go, I'll rent the size that you're saying where I wear them low slung so my ass crack is hanging out during the gala. And I want to rent a pair where I want to wear them. He goes, oh, I don't know. Hold on. I got to check. And it's all separates. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Comes back, goes, it's going to be $10. I said, get the 2 pairs of pants then. $10. It's going to be $10.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm going to be wearing a navy blue tuxedo, looking sharp.
Do you have a kilt?
Not a dress one. But after you said that, I looked into the package and I was like, oh, I'm getting this, but not this year because one, it wouldn't be here in time, and two, I don't plan on needing it the size I needed Saturday anymore. So that's it. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Bill Murray is not going to be there. Bill Murray was there the year he was inducted. So Bill Murray will not be there this year. There's a lot of great inductees: Conan O'Brien, Gene Kennedy Smith, a lot of wonderful, wonderful Irish people. If you go to iahof.org, you can see all of that information. But we'll recap it next week. I'm sure it'll be fun because there's a cocktail hour. Then there's dinner. You'll see me in my natural habitat talking to a bunch of drunk Irish people.
Hopefully I don't drink as much as I did last week because, wow.
I would now. Are you going to be? Are you coming correct in your kilt?
Oh, of course.
All right, good. So yeah, I do hope you get drunk and then fall down.
Mostly out of laziness. Who's got time for undies?
I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's something very unusual. That's why the ladies like me.
Hi-oh.
Speaking of Bill Murray. Bill Murphy? Yeah, Bill Murphy's going to be there. That's what Marta was right. Yes, Bill Murphy. The most embarrassing day of my life. But then topped off by the fact that I made him laugh. So from tragedy comes comedy. So that'll be that. All right. I know we're going to try to keep things shorter tonight because you're fatigued and ill and all of that. But all right, I'm gonna give you a choice of. Well, all right. You interview people now for your new job, right? You are in charge of hiring people, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were hiring somebody, or it was someone like you came into this company. This is a perfect analogy because you came into this company as a new supervisor. So I'm sure there's people who wanted to talk to you who had worked there before, but they wanted to meet the new boss, same as the old boss, or you wanted to talk to them. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and I have another topic after this that I'll hang out for.
Yes.
Just, so no rush.
Okay.
No rush.
I
appreciate because I told Brian before, I was like, I've got like an hour in me. I've been talking all day. I was in meetings just nonstop. And
well,
so
sure, because you took a week off to go to Albuquerque and pretend you weren't in Albuquerque.
Right. So, but I can survive for a bit longer because there's so much to get to. But
there is a lot to get to. All right. So I need your opinion. I need you to set my mind at ease because one, something horrible happened, and two, I know you know how I spiral. It was a technical issue. Now, remember last time we were together, I was talking. We had a technical thing where I was trying to move something to Dropbox or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this time I had asked. We have a new boss at WTMJ. And because I'm not there all the time, I just wanted to say hello and meet him. And he actually came from ESPN here in Chicago. So I'm like, might as well reach out. So I talked to the assistant who I've known for a long time. I was like, hey, can you set up a meeting? Is he talking to the part-timers? Oh yeah. Okay. Let me set it up. So it was scheduled for last week, got bumped. So it's Monday. So yesterday. I'm going to talk to him, and we're going to do it on Microsoft Teams, which I hate. I loathe Microsoft Teams.
No.
Loathe it. So now I've joined Microsoft Team meetings up there before, but I always just join them in progress. So this time I figure, well, I'm going to get in. I'll be there waiting at the time. So it's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes before our meeting is supposed to start. And I click the link in the email and it takes me, what do you want to do? How do you want to access Teams? And I'm like, what? So I see it. I see myself, and I'm running it through the same system that I'm running this through now. And then I hit join and it says, there's a problem, try again later. And I'm like, oh no. And I do all this stuff and I see myself and I hit join, there's a problem. And all of a sudden I hear his voice, Brian. And I'm like, Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. He goes, I see you and hear you. Do you see me? I go, I don't see you at all. I said, I'm sorry. It keeps telling me that there's a problem. Try again. He goes, well, why don't you log off and then come back in? I go to do that. I grab my laptop. Both monitor screens on my desktop go black. And I'm like, oh, so I think I'm gone with him. He can hear me as I'm going, God damn it, I can't believe it. So I'm getting and all of a sudden he goes, are you okay? And I go, oh, hang on, I'm just pulling it up on my laptop, which I did. And so then he can see, but now he sees not only my little laptop picture, he sees where I should be on the Microsoft Teams, just the icon from the camera, the Logic Capture logo in there, and I'm turning stuff down, and it's going okay, and then at some point the audio doubles, and I'm like, what? I had to reach over. I did a hard shutdown on my computer because there was still nothing on either screen. My screens had gone black, but everything was still running. I don't know what the hell happened. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my first impression with this guy. And I'm apologizing. Oh, listen, when I do the shows, I'm much more tech savvy. And I'm like, oh, I'm drowning here. Then he goes, oh, did you know my man, Dave Kaplan? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was Cap's partner on Sports Night and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, and then the thing starts doubling and I'm like, oh my God, this is horrendous. He must think I'm the biggest moron ever. And he's got to be thinking, how is it possible that he's been doing shows from home when he can't do them? Now, I do my other job. I'm on Zoom all the time and no problems. But Microsoft is just a sand pounding, grab your ankles, we're screwing your company. So yeah, now if you were that boss and there I am, now we did have the meeting and he was able, we did it fine on the laptop and we had a nice conversation, but there was still, I was so embarrassed and infuriated when it was over. I couldn't believe it.
It depends on the person. I tend to be very empathetic. And the thing is, I've been podcasting from a home setup of some sort for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And especially on Windows computers, things just break all the time. Like I was talking to, I just have a text thread on this. So I've got a text thread with some of my best friends from high school, and two of them, one's an IT guy, runs IT for a company, and the other is like a high-level programmer at a big like national company. So earlier today, they were saying they were just complaining about like things that don't work. Like Windows sucks, but in different ways. Oh, hey, guess what? Like I'm Windows. Hey, guess what? We're turning off TLS 1.0 and 1.1 with little to no warning. Good luck, literally everyone. Ha ha ha. Still running legacy systems that need Samba 1. Not anymore, you're not. Now you're not running anything. Oh, you deploy all your printer connections via group policy? Well, this Windows update is going to break it entirely, which we know, but screw you. Why bother fixing it? No, you get to manually add all your printers, but before you can, you have to run a PowerShell command for every printer you need to install and then manually add it in printers and scanners for every system, for every user in that system. Or you can change a registry setting to make it work, but now you've just made every person on your domain have shadow admin privileges. This is why I drink so much.
Oh my God.
So IT people don't love Windows either.
No, and I'm not the most tech savvy, but I'm far from the least tech savvy. I get around. I do pretty well.
You do good. You do well.
And this was just so. And when everything just went black, I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? And then he hears me swear it because I'm not staying patient when I'm trying to quickly get on the get on the laptop. Thank God for the Apple laptop. This MacBook Pro right here. I always got it doubled up. So I don't know. Then I'm trying to use. Debbie's been scanning like 1 million photos. So we have this little external hard drive that we've been backing things up on. Well, a week or so ago, she decided she was going to try to do it. I was standing behind her, and instead of reading stuff, she just was clicking like a psychotic, just clicking. And so she clicked back up everything from Dropbox. I'm like, all that's on Dropbox is like 7 auditions. That's all that's on Dropbox. But now every time we would plug in the external hard drive, it was getting screwed up because of Dropbox. And I'm like, all right. So I figured out, I got that pause, so that wasn't happening anymore. And but then it turns out we have a 1 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive, and we need a bigger one because this one's almost full. They're like, you have used up 90% of your hard drive. I'm like, oh God. All right. So see, I'm not an idiot. And that's why it was so, as I was talking to him, I'm like, the audio quality when I do the shows from home, everybody up there says it's perfect, blah, blah, blah. It's all great. And I could just, I just know he was like, oh. And then I'm like, oh no, what if he talks to Cap? Because things didn't end well, because I was in a different mental space. Most of it, I would say 70% of it was my fault. So I'm going to take the lump on that because I was not. I'll take at least half, maybe a little more, because there was a lot on me because of my mental state. It wasn't all my fault, and it was also, it was also a lack of direction from bosses when they're kind of letting the lunatics run the asylum.
Yeah.
And,
well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
What would you, if you were my new boss, would you be thinking I am an idiot?
No, to go back to the empathy thing. Like basically I've spent a decade and a half seeing computers screw up for no reason. Okay. So for me to judge somebody else, like knowing that to judge somebody else would be extremely hypocritical, especially if they've been doing a radio show remotely for like 2 years. Like I'm not, that like, how would it make sense for me to be like, wow, this guy doesn't know what he's doing when like he's been doing it for 2 years, right? And Teams sucks and Windows sucks.
Teams does suck.
It's just so it's fine. I don't know, but that's me. Other people are jerks. So maybe other people, I don't know this guy, but hopefully he's a decent person.
He seemed like a good guy. I sent him a quick, I sent him just a quick thank you note right after we were done, and he responded today. And so it's I think we're fine.
One of my favorite things is when someone sends me a calendar invite and they don't include a Zoom link and they just say, "I'll give you a call." And I just look at my phone and I pick up the phone. You know how often that screws up?
Never.
It's so
phone calls are nice, and sure, in person is even better, but. I worked all day yesterday. I wasn't going to drive up 2 hours for a 20-minute meeting. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense. But Zoom, I've done countless events and meetings on Zoom and never had an issue. Never.
Yeah.
Even FaceTime. We could have FaceTimed like teenage girls. It would have been great.
Is that what teenage girls do?
I don't know what teenage girls do. I try to stay away from them. Just, the law frowns on me hanging out with teenage girls too much.
That's why I'm not on TikTok.
No, I have a TikTok, but I never go on TikTok, and I never post on TikTok.
Yeah.
I am not in the TikTok demographic.
In the chat, Stuart's saying once you go Mac, you never go back. I've got to say, as a guy that's been podcasting for many years, I ran into virtually no issues recording when I was at Discovery with my old co-host on the MacBook Pro that we had.
Okay.
I never had an issue. Before that, when I was doing my video game podcast with John, my buddy, on a Windows machine, every week something went wrong. Every week.
Now, do you use any desktops, or are you strictly laptops?
So, I have an old desktop like from college. And my gaming PC downstairs, my gaming PC attached to my TV, hooked up to my TV, but I don't I really only use it to like download videos and
Okay.
occasionally play games. I don't play many games down there anymore because I don't want my son to have too much screen time.
No.
So
He's already had 20 minutes with us, and that's going to scar him for life. He's probably going to be held back
yeah.
because he watched 20 minutes of Jungle Book.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I
No,
know.
so in my house, I have 2 work laptops, 2 MacBook laptops, a gaming laptop. So that's 5 laptops. No, a 6th laptop
Wow.
that I use for stuff, and 2 desktop computers, my old desktop and my. So I have 8 computers.
Jeez. Well, because we're trying to figure, we've got to get. We know this desktop that we have. It's been good, but it's old,
Mhm.
and so there's going to have to be some replacement, and I'm not sure if we're going to go desktop again or if we're going to. I don't know. I do like the full-size keyboards, but who knows? As long as I can do stuff, I'm getting much more used to the big MacBook Pro, so I'm happy about that. Plus,
can
it's covered
attach
in brewery stickers.
Sure, you can attach a external. I mean, I'm using an external keyboard with my laptop.
Yeah, I listen. I could do all that stuff if I wanted to, but right now I don't want to. I've already got 87 monitors and all kinds of stuff happening.
We know
Look
you
like
got to do on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. It's like the NSC in here. Got all kind of stuff going on. Ring lights and cameras and dogs. It's crazy. He did compliment me on my workspace, though. The new guy. He goes, "Oh, I see you got some mic flags back there." And I'm like, "Yeah." And thankfully, one of them is TMJ's, so he knows I stole from the company at some point.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. All right, you said you had another topic.
Yeah, you got to.
Is it Elon? Is it Elon and Twitter?
Got to use all those computers to log on to Twitter, or do you? Because we're all gonna quit. Mass exodus.
No, who's
Elon
quit?
Musk is the devil. Everyone has quit Twitter because we can't stand that man. Ooh,
Who's quitting
ooh,
Twitter?
Spooky.
Ooh, wow, that was nice.
It's the
I like how
ghost
you
of
did that.
Elon past. I'm Elon Musk and I'm evil and I own the Twitterverse.
He does now. Almost. It's not final. Is that right? The big deal is not. I don't think it's final yet, but it's going to be. Yeah. And who's? All right. Listen. We all know. We could argue. We could argue what free speech really means. And last week I was on Craig's show, down on WMBD in Peoria, and we got into a thing. We got into a little beef because I was, Craig brought up that people were upset about their free speech being hampered. And I went into a whole constitutional explanation of what free speech really is.
Oh.
But I also said, listen, if Elon Musk wants to spend $44 billion to buy something so he can control it, I don't care. Twitter already sucks. Twitter's a cesspool of evil and horrible thought. How much worse can it get? There's already people spouting all kinds of crazy, nasty, horrendous vitriol on there. So what's going to change now that if Elon buys it? It'll be a privately owned company just like it was. Or no, it was publicly owned now, but it's still private. People can say he can decide what people can say on there. And that's the deal. That's kind of how it is now. They can decide what people say on Twitter. He didn't like it. So now he bought it. And then I'm seeing all kinds of, there shouldn't be billionaires. Well, listen, we could all argue that maybe there's a better use for $44 billion than buying Twitter. But you know what? It's not our money. You know who hates billionaires? People with no money hate billionaires. I don't hate billionaires. Am I envious of billionaires? Sure, I wish I had a little of that billionaire money, but I don't. I didn't invent an electric car. I didn't create some, big brother of sales that has everything you could ever want or need, and it can get to your house as soon as tonight or tomorrow. I didn't do any of that, so that's on me, But to say there shouldn't be billionaires, that's not how it works. If you come up with an idea and you make a lot of money, It's your money. You know, we can't tell people how to do what we deem the moral thing with their money. We can't tell people, well, you should, why don't you end world hunger instead of buying Twitter? Because he doesn't want to end world hunger. He doesn't give two hoots about world hunger. He's mad that people make fun of him on Twitter and that he believes that the public discourse has been stifled. So he wants to blow a huge chunk of his money on Twitter. All right, go ahead. I'm guessing you might have a different take.
No, I mean, I hadn't really thought of any of that.
You just wanted to do the crazy lighting and stuff?
No. Here's my take. You ready for my take, Brian?
I do want your hot take. That's why you're here. Hot takes.
So I guess that I mean, your take is fine. It's good. It's a hot enough take. It's warm.
It's a common sense. It's a common sense take.
Yeah, you've got your take, and my take has nothing to do with your take. It's a completely different take.
Correct.
So I don't even know how to respond to your take.
Well, you don't have to respond to mine. Let me hear yours.
Okay, here's my take is, what is it about Elon Musk? What is it about him acquiring Twitter that suddenly makes Twitter something that you must flee from, as if it's like the grand great evil, right? Because like I'm standing here and I'm not on Facebook right now. We're on Restream. We're broadcasting through Restream, but I'm not even logged into Facebook right now. I consider Facebook to be the big bad evil. Meta, all that stuff.
Yes, and the algorithms
they are so evil. Instagram is destroying teen girls' lives and mental health. Facebook is destroying relationships and families. Facebook, by the way, is like 4 times bigger than Twitter or more in terms of users. I am so distrustful of Facebook that I won't even buy the Oculus Quest 2, which is the most affordable virtual reality headset on the market by hundreds of dollars.
You said that.
But it was acquired by Meta. And I don't trust them and their privacy sharing and their data stuff and all that. I am so distrustful. I literally will not buy an Oculus Quest 2. I read somewhere they were considering, if you buy you can buy like either a developer version of it or a commercial version of it or something. There's some version of it that doesn't have all that privacy stuff where where like the data isn't shared. You do maintain your privacy settings, whatever, but that's like twice the cost. It's literally like $800.
Sure.
At which point you might as well just buy the actual good one, the Valve Index, which is I think the best one on the market, but it's like $1,100 or something.
Oh.
So anyway, point is, almost all my friends are on Instagram. If you're watching or listening to this, there's a decent chance you're on Instagram. I think that's the devil. I think it's actually the devil. I think Facebook itself is the devil. I think it's an awful user experience. I think it's satanic. And that content is even worse than Twitter's. And yet, the discourse, Brian, the discourse.
Tell me about the discourse, Cody.
My take is, what is it about Elon? And I don't even know if anyone watching or listening to this will even have this opinion. So I don't know if they can chime in.
Doesn't matter.
But where does this attitude come from? And how do you justify, wow, I've got to leave Twitter because Elon's the bottom of the barrel, while still supporting things like Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube to a degree? I mean, Google's not treating content creators really very well right now. Their algorithms suck people in and just destroy their lives. Like that, YouTube is much more insidious, I think, than
and TikTok's algorithm. If you watch 1 or 2 videos, all of a sudden that's all you're seeing. And so if I said to you, hey, and we talked about this before we started, I have a TikTok account. I've never posted. I don't go on there and watch. But if we did, our displays would be probably vastly different. Because they decide, Cody watched these kind of videos. That's all we're going to feed him. And Brian watched these videos. That's all we're going to feed him. I think if I may answer your theory for a little bit, I think a lot of these people it's just a knee-jerk reaction because they hear Elon Musk and they think he's going to bring everybody back that was banned. And, oh my God, we're going to give voice to these what what they consider horrible people. And now, will Trump be back? And he already said he's going to stick with his, his kick-ass social media company, Truth thing. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's that Elon Musk is an unusual guy. He's the richest guy in the world. People think they can tell him what to do with his money. They think they can tell him how to act. He has been openly critical of Twitter for so long. People who have no idea are just going to, it's hysteria for hysteria's sake. And that's a society we live in. Everything has to be taken to the nth degree immediately. Everything is either woke or unwoke. And we can't have debate. It's, we have our bubble now. Thank God Twitter got rid of some of these horrible right-wing conspiracy lunatics. So we have a place to expound our thoughts. Wait, he might let some of those people back in. No good, no good. So I think that's it. I think people I don't care. I honestly don't. I'm on there. I'm not going to flee. I don't use it that much. I don't think all the people who post porn and everything else on Twitter are going to leave. I don't think any of the people who are spouting their political rhetoric are going to leave. Who's going to leave? Alec Baldwin going to leave? Okay. Sorry. See ya. But I don't know. So I think to answer part of your question, that's why people are so worked up. And it also goes back to rich people are evil. That's an undercurrent in this society, that if you're rich, you're evil. And so if you're evil and you buy something that we use for free, which should be a tip off right there, if they're giving it to you, you're paying somehow. So you're paying with all your privacy. Now, an evil man has bought our fun toy. He's going to break it. I just want to keep my check mark.
I do want to keep my check mark.
I want to stay verified.
Yeah, I'd be very upset if I didn't get verified.
Yeah, it's the only thing that impresses Molly and her friends.
I know. I think you're right. I think especially a lot of the hysteria I'm seeing is on Twitter, where hysteria reigns king.
Nonstop.
I think that's a very astute observation. That makes sense. Marta threw in the chat a few possible reasons YouTube, one of the co-founders, went to IMSA. What's IMSA? IMSA?
Co-founders went to IMSA. No idea. No idea.
Look up IMSA school. Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy? Really?
Huh?
I
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well. Oh, Illinois Math and Science Academy. Okay, all right, thanks,
Right.
Mike. So YouTube went to IMSA. Facebook dude just went to Harvard. Elon Musk is from another country, and he got a sizable chunk of money from his father. So it could be racism. You can see that. Or like Americanism, patriotism, over patriotism. Like, how dare this foreigner come and
that maybe I've never. That's never. It could be. It could be. It's never entered my mind. I didn't know where he was from. I don't know what. I know Elon Musk is.
South Africa.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
I thought he did okay on Saturday Night Live. I know he's got rockets and electric cars.
He was good on SNL. Yeah, and I think it probably is the why spend money on this versus that as much as anything, but also partial racism and also jealousy and lots of other things. But yeah, I just my take is just generally like, calm down. Like most gigantic mega corporations are run by horrific evil people.
Yes.
I mean, like, what has Jeff Bezos really measurably done for good, right? Amazon Smile, okay, I guess, but
yeah, if you looked, I mean, and I know these are dramatizations, but did you watch the show about the show on Showtime about Uber?
No. Oh, you talked about this recently.
Yeah, or the one about Theranos or anything else. These, These people are driven. They're not warm and cuddly.
They're
They're
psychopaths.
driven. Yeah, they're psychopaths. They're driven to succeed. They're laser focused. They have one thought in mind, and that is succeed at all costs, disrupt the world. That's what they call that's why they're disruptors. That's their whole thing, you know? So no, they're not. They're probably not the kind of guys you could sit and have a beer with. But that's okay, you know. It's not our place to tell people how to spend their money. You know, if I told you, now we're at greatly different income levels than Elon Musk. That is the understatement of the decade. But if you said to me, "Hey, I'm buying this new gaming computer and a gaming chair," now, Cody, couldn't you have taken that money and given it to a homeless shelter? Whose business? Why is it my business what you're doing with your money? I don't care. It's up to you. You want to make a charitable donation? That's great. You want to help the world? That's great. You want to get a kick-ass computer to play your crazy Zelda games? That's great too. You earned it. Do what you want with it. Elon Musk didn't hold anybody up at gunpoint to get his money. He made it.
Actually, Brian, he held me up at gunpoint.
Hold on. Wait, what?
Well, yeah. So he was going to finance the 43.999 billion with his own, investments and assets and loans. That the rest of it, the remainder, he actually held me up at gunpoint.
Oh man, hold on. I have to rethink this whole thing.
Yeah.
I apologize then.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't shoot me. It was just a holdup.
Yet.
Well, that's true.
He may come back for more.
No, I didn't have that much money in my wallet, fortunately, because I didn't have my credit card. So
wow. That's wow. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
2, listen, a sizable chunk came from his father. So what? So what? He inherited,
No,
I wish my old man had a ton of money and left me a chunk. He didn't.
Right. No, that's what she's saying, is that people are jealous of that. Right. That's another reason why people are angry. Yeah. I think no, these are all great points. I think these are reasons why people are mad about it. Even if you don't agree with it, I get it. So, all right, that's fair. I get it. Anyway, that's
so. Are you fleeing or no? You staying or are you fleeing?
Hell no. I'm not. No, I'm going to quit Twitter now that Elon Musk is in charge. Is the new I'm moving to Canada if Trump wins.
Yes.
Because guess how many people did that? I've been meaning to tweet that all week. Like, guess how many people did that? Really, no one.
Yeah, I didn't move. Did you?
No. I wasn't threatening on it. I didn't really care. At first, things got kind of pretty raw there after a while. Because at first, it was a bit of, you didn't really know what to expect. You kind of knew, but you're also kind of like, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, it was so surreal. It was kind of like, is he just like pretending to be this way? And then like, he'll be different when he's in office. Like, there was that chance, right?
Sure.
He's like a loose cannon, like you didn't know. So I didn't, I got the results of the election. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And things didn't go real great. Even, dude, what's the dude, Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, remember? Or maybe it's somebody's monologue on SNL right after the election was like, let's give him a chance.
Oh, Chappelle.
It was Chappelle, right?
Yeah,
exactly,
Chappelle.
right. Chappelle gave him a chance, right? So, we're
yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
That makes sense, Marta, what you're saying. So, yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's all I got to say about that. Hot takes. Yeah. Hot takes, cold brews.
Oh, his family money comes from like blood diamonds. It's okay. Yeah, you can. Also, that's a fair point, But listen, no matter what, he's got the dough. He can do with it what he wants, and I'm not leaving. Cody's not leaving. Follow us on Twitter, of course. You can always follow us on Twitter. You can follow because we're staying. You can follow the podcast. You can follow me. You can follow Cody. Everybody's on Twitter. All the cool kids are staying on Twitter.
Very cool.
You know why? Because we're going to fight the good fight. We're not going to I don't know what kind of voices are going to take over. He hasn't really, what he should do? Just put an edit button on there. How many times have you made it? I've made typo because I'm a horrible, because things come out of my head much faster than I can type them. And I'm a crap when it comes to proofreading. So if I could edit my tweets, that would be fantastic. And if he does that, I don't care how many blood diamonds he brought in. Don't cancel me. I'm kidding. That's a joke. People are going to, oh, Cody, I'm canceled. I am canceled. Oh, did you tweet about CNN Plus, Cody?
Yeah. My old podcast had twice as large of an audience as CNN.
Oh, yeah,
Plus
that's
ever
right.
did. I heard, so actually a coworker sent me an article about the demise of CNN Plus. I think it was a CNBC or a Bloomberg article, but I guess it's just like a really intense, raw deep dive into what happened. And like basically there was, because the guy that funded it was an ultra rich dude, right? Don't remember.
Evil.
Yeah, some ultra rich dude who like, you're basically like, nothing this guy ever funds will ever fail. And then, but you had his vision and then some other company's vision. And then once the big parent company merger occurred, I guess like all this stuff went down and basically like no one would take a meeting with any of the people at CNN Plus. And then like all these people lost their jobs. And I don't know, it's a total train wreck. So I'll have to find the article, but I'm curious to read about the CNN Plus debacle. But I tweeted and I was just like, look, let's please acknowledge that I used to have a podcast with twice the audience of CNN Plus.
Yeah.
And that just feels good because I hate CNN a lot, like so much, so much. But I do feel bad for the people that lost their jobs, the brave men and women who were willing to risk their lives, sell their souls to the devil to work for a horrific brand that I think is terrible at everything. So,
wow, you're coming out hot. All right, let me just throw this out there and then we'll get out of here.
Do it.
Since we're talking about free speech and people spreading, whatever, I think old people need to be kept from computers at some point.
Okay, why?
Well, one of my mom's friends sends her these wild, far right-wing newsletters all the time. And my mom either talks to this woman or reads the newsletters. So I'm talking to her Sunday just to call and check on her, see how everything is. And somehow school comes up and she goes, I won't say the woman's name. I was talking to my friend. The things that are happening at her daughter's school or her granddaughter's school are unbelievable. They are trying to turn all the young women transgender. They're doing it to all the girls. They're trying to turn them all transgender. I go, Ma, I don't think that's happening. Well, I read it, and that's what she said. So I just think that's horrible. I go, well, it's not happening. So I think I'm not going to get involved in this conversation. She's like, nope, all the young girls. They're trying to make them transgender. I'm like, okay, I got to go. I'll talk to you next week. I'll see you later. And I know because I've been on her computer helping her clean stuff out. I know where this is all coming from. And I know this woman. I'm like, oh my God, what happened to you? I guess maybe when you get to a certain age, I don't know if you get scared of the world, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, how? You're a former teacher. And a fairly intelligent woman. Now, granted, you're 85 and, things are scary, but they're not trying to make every girl in school transgender. I don't even think that's possible to make somebody,
You'd be surprised, Brian.
I probably would be. You know what? I'm sure I'll learn all about it on the new evil Twitter. I'm sure they'll point all that stuff out to me.
Yeah.
I'll be able to read Marjorie Taylor Greene's tweets again and learn all that stuff and then move to Florida and figure out why I can't get a math book. So there's going to be, I'm going to learn a lot of stuff and I'm happy about that. So that's all good. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know what to do because I'm not going to engage. But then I say, Ma, we can't have this conversation. And she just keeps going because now she knows. Now she knows she's going to get me riled up. As a guy in school I'm working furiously to turn everybody transgender.
Well, yeah.
That's why not? Why be in education if you can't turn everybody transgender?
It's in the job description, isn't it?
Well, even in the part-timers, even as a permanent sub. That's why I get to go. I even have it more because I go from room to room and grade to grade. I'm not stuck in one grade trying to indoctrinate everybody. I go all over.
You go room to room to groom to groom.
Oh, don't even get me started on grooming people.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. That's what we're up to.
But do you groom them pre or post op?
Well, you know what? I don't know. That's a
Why
good
not?
question.
Why not
I've
both?
tried both. You know? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Listen, I know you got to get going. You've been working hard. You've been having meetings. You've been having stomach issues. Things have been getting crazy. I will see you Saturday night, and we'll recap. It's gonna be all of us dressed to the nines. What will happen? We'll tell you all about that next week. Yes, wow, Mike, watch it. Watch it. I have a permanent sub. I have an oxymoron. But don't forget the oxy, or else I'm coming at you. I'm going to come all up in you like a spider monkey, Mike. Don't be a DC. Don't come out here throwing around those big words, those multisyllabic words at me. Not going to have it.
Too many syllables.
I'm not putting up with it. Not going to do it. All right. Anything you need to plug? Anything going on?
Never. Nothing.
Never. All right. Well, have a lovely week. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll talk to you again next week. That's all we got for tonight, or all I got. Cody?
Sounds tight. Bye.
Bye.